Good evening. This is Voxday, and I just got done with the final shooting for Cuckservative, so I'm very happy about that. It's been appallingly delayed, for which I apologize, of course, but as you can see, we got really good lighting, so that's pretty cool. We are obviously hard at work on a lot of stuff. We have a new book launching tomorrow. If you want to get a sneak preview, you're probably going to laugh when you see the cover. The name of the book is God Hates Me, The Diary of an Ex-Angel, and it's by Richard Kane. If nothing else, I think the cover is going to blow you away. We're going to try to get 2 or 3 Voxday videos out this month. One is going to be a 20-minute one on immigration and war, and the other one is going to be another short one on immigration and war, but a more detailed one. And then the third one is going to be a surprise. So we'll have to got to keep some things under the hat. I'm very sorry that it's taken so long to get Voxday out. I know some of the backers are a little bit probably annoyed by that. Well, in fairness, I've been talking to Martin Van Creveld a lot recently, so all I can say is that like most of the stuff that I do, I'm probably going to deliver it later than I want, but hopefully exceed expectations. That's the goal. And to be honest, part of it is much the same reason that it took me a long time to get these periscopes going at all. I'm not comfortable on video. I'm not comfortable on camera. It's not something that I particularly like to do, and I have to really force myself to do it. And so I can do it. I will do it. I've committed to doing it, and we're going to do it well. But just like these periscopes, the first videos are probably going to be rather awkward. Hopefully the producer can do something about that. But the reality is just that it's going to take a while for me to get accustomed to it, to get used to it. Well, yeah, the whole thing with Alt Hero was, it just was not expected. I mean, just to put it in perspective, we've signed 9 more comic titles for Dark Legion Comics already. And that's not counting the 11 issues of Rebel Dead Revenge that are coming out. I mean, I literally just finished getting the digital version of Rebel Dead Revenge number 2 ready for release. And that's ready 3 weeks early. We're not going to release that for 3 more weeks. Tomorrow, I'm going to be getting the second test print, our second ever test print for our physical comics. I don't know if some of you might not have seen this, but this is the first test print of Quantum Mortis. This is not going to be the final cover. We changed it, as you know, but this is an actual real print, full color comic book. We're getting the Woodhouse one tomorrow. This is going to be the size of the small ones. Yes, they'll be for sale on Amazon and everywhere. This is the size of the small ones. They're going to be collected in paperback, in graphic novels, 6 issues each, so they'll be about 150 pages, and those will be 10 by 7, so those will be bigger. But the important thing about this size is that it allows us to do a serious cover, and then it also allows us, if you notice the price, it allows us to sell them for $2.99. The Marvel has gone to a standard price of $3.99, and so we wanted to be competitive. And so, part of that meant doing a slightly smaller price or smaller size point. But it's actually the exact same size as a big trade paperback. For example, this is our standard book size, and so you can see that this is actually bigger than the regular books. So they're not tiny. And they we've chosen a font size that's very legible, and so I think it's going to be good. We'll see, and like everything, if the market tells us, we hate that size, we want 10 by 7, we'd rather pay a little bit more and get 10 by 7, we can make that change. It's not a problem. And so anyhow, it's there's a lot of exciting stuff going on. I mean, our volunteer team is so great. What's incredible to me is that even as we've been creating this whole comic endeavor, we haven't missed a beat on our traditional Castelia House publications. We've got, I think, 3 or 4 ebooks coming out this month, probably 2 print books. We're going to get The Last Closet in print. We're getting Hitler in Hell in print. And if I can get my act together, we'll even get Corporate Cancer out before the end of the month in ebook, quickly followed by audio and print as well. And so the blog, actually, I have to say, keeping the blog going is just, it's basically like breathing. It's really not an effort for me. And so, the interesting thing is that the traffic on the blog has gone through the roof. I think last week we actually had a day of 146,000 page views, which is kind of incredible when you think about it. We're seeing as much traffic on the weekends now as we had in the week only, a month ago, a month and a half? Yeah, and Comicsgate is going to get even bigger because there's a pretty big story that they're working on now, and we're going to be in that. Speaking of Jack Posobiec, I am happy to be able to say that he finally turned his much anticipated book in, and we're going to be publishing that in the reasonably near future. I'm definitely looking forward to reading it and editing it. And so, there's an awful lot going on. And so, the blog is us. Turn it on time. It's not like we had an official date. Did we even put a date on? Did we even put a delivery date on it? Okay, but you're right. It is on time. Everybody applaud Jack. He turned his book in on time. I really should not give him a hard time, considering how I'm incredibly late on A Sea of Skulls. So, but by the way, I was working on that just today, and I'm not happy with how far along I am on it, but I'm very happy with the content, and I think that when it finally comes out later this year, I think people are going to be quite pleased with it. So, but we're dealing with a lot of just bumps in the road. We had one of the artists on Alt Hero had some issues that were unavoidable, and so what was going to be Alt Hero number 1, or what was going to be Alt Hero number 2 is now going to be Alt Hero number 1, and so forth. I'm not even going to try to estimate a release date on SES Skulls. It's just, I think we're going to the official id Software school of it's done when it's done. Oh, fabulous. Now Jack knows about the whole Vox RR Day thing. That's just what I needed. But, you know, I mean, like I said earlier about Voxiversity, things tend to go a little slower than I want them to, but hopefully we exceed expectations when it actually comes out. And I think at the end of the day, that's probably the more important point. So, anyhow, but yeah, I'm. Thanks for those of you who said that I look like I'm in shape. Getting ready for the new soccer season that's going to start off soon. So I've been hitting the treadmill and the bike like every day. You know, it's when you get to my age, you have to work hard just to keep up with the younger guys. So, yeah, I'll be shocked if I hang on to my starting position. But you know, we'll see. I don't mind coming off the bench at this point. Hey, Megan. Megan's been tearing it up on PJ Media. Megan, I don't link to all of your posts just because, you know, I don't want you to get you in trouble with PJ Media. I figure that's the last thing they need. But anyhow, you know, a lot of stuff's going on. We're introducing, launching a new book tomorrow. We're going to be launching several new series very soon. And we're going to have a number of announcements coming soon in the comic space. So things are still looking very good to get the first physical issues of Alt Hero and Chuck Dixon's Avalon out in March. And actually, Chuck just turned in the scripts for issues number 3 and 4. So we're making really good progress. The stories are really coming along well. You know, and as I said, we're working on putting out the best art that we can, the best art that we can afford. But we're not trying to compete with Marvel in that space. We know we can't. We're gonna compete with them with better characters, with better storylines, and we're gonna do it at, you know, a less expensive price point. You know, their premium comics are going out for $4.99. We're coming in at $2.99. And so, and the other interesting thing is, I just checked this out today. This is just kind of an aside, but I checked out all of the top-selling graphic novels. And from number 1 to number 20, and even all the way down to number 100, all of them are available through our distribution system. So what that means is that the comic stores are going to have a tremendous incentive to sign up for the system that allows them to also get our comics. And so I thought that was really encouraging. I hadn't actually checked it out, and nobody at the distributor could tell me, but I was able to look that up and verify that. No, we're not looking for investors in Castalia, not at all. What we might do at some point in time, and this is something we're going to talk about at Brainstorm soon. In fact, we're going to be doing a brainstorm. If you're a brainstormer, we're going to do one later this week. But you know, there are some projects that might be of interest to people that we might be able to take on if people wanted to invest in it. What we would do is do some sort of partnership between the folks over here and the folks in the States. And it would be run by someone in the States. And, you know, that would just be a different way to go about doing it. I don't know, you know, it's not like we have a it's not like we have a shortage of projects at the moment. But yeah, unfortunately, I didn't do any brainstorms for months because I had some huge problems with Citrix. Citrix got sold. GoToWebinar got sold. They were trying to bill us for stuff that we hadn't ordered, didn't want. It was a huge pain in the rear. We finally got that all resolved, all put to bed. We tried a new platform. Everybody actually preferred it, and it's much more reasonable. So I wish we'd gone with that in the first place. But anyhow, that's all good. That's all straightened out, and so now we can move forward. So I'm trying to get a bit more organized. You can, actually, even if I hadn't pushed the paper out of the way, there's only about half as much as there used to be piled up. So I feel like I'm getting more organized, and we'll see how long that lasts. But in any event, I just wanted to let you know I already had everything set up with the lights and all for Voxdiversity. So I thought, what the heck? Let's do a Periscope. So I hope this finds you well. I hope to see you on the blog soon, and we will look forward to talking to you soon. Have a good evening.